All aboard! Air New Zealand is back, baby. Yes, Air New Zealand in 2023 has just announced a dividend for the first time since 2019. And all shareholders, just like myself, rejoice as finally our fruits of our labour are about to make us millionaires. Yes, the dividend is back, and it's Air New Zealand back on top. Or is this just a little bit of a good stop before we just continue to flatline? Air New Zealand need to do more, but let's get to it. Air New Zealand stock analysis right here, right now at Barry Charles. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the video. Let's get to it. Yes, Air New Zealand has just announced a special dividend of 6 cents per share for its customers. And everyone's going hallelujah as the price starts to skyrocket. Well, not skyrocket, but skyrocket a little bit. It's gone up about 4 cents. If it continues to get that momentum going, Air New Zealand could be back at $1 very quickly. Whether it gets there or not, I'm not sure. But Air New Zealand, people are going to start coming back in just for the dividend itself. Now, does this make it a good buy right now? Is it overvalued, undervalued? All this sort of stuff you've got to realise before you just buy back in because it's a dividend. For anyone that has been buying it, you're going to start to see a bit of improvement, I believe, but whether it's long-term improvement, that's going to be up to Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand have got back to profit in 2023. Yes, going to a beautiful profit of 421 million from a net loss last year of over 500. So the celebrations beginning for Air New Zealand shareholders, so they finally get something back for holding on to their stocks. We should see some more share price appreciation, especially all the ones that bought the stock on that special rate at the $57, $58 rate. When they did the big, you could purchase more shares. So, for the people that bought in at that time or the lower 65s, you're starting to see the fruits of your labour. For those ones that were brought away back at $3, all that sort of stuff, and are still trying to work their way back to profitability and thinking, what do I do? Well, I just think you just keep buying. Especially if the dividend continues to stay and stay and stay, you'll just see the fruits of your labour continue. That's what you want. You want dividends to continue within New Zealand. It's going to be the key factor for this. It's not the main factor, but it's the key factor in terms of most people's beliefs into New Zealand. They buy for the dividend. So if they continue to provide that dividend, you'll see more and more people come in the space. But if they decide to just do this one-off special dividend and not come back and continue it, then it's an absolute waste of time. Absolute. You'll see the stock go from that and tank in, could go down 10 cents. Simple as that. So that's the worry you have with that. It's only a special dividend. You want it to continue to be a dividend that continues to on-roll. That's what people in the stock have been waiting for, and they've been waiting a long time. But if it comes back, look out. We can reap the benefits into the future. So with Air New Zealand, this is what why I'm wearing the shirt here. Get on the board. Get on. Yes, sponsor the Warriors in New Zealand. Come on. Get on that gravy train as the Warriors go towards the grand final in 2023. Yes, for rugby league fans around New Zealand and Australia, they'll understand this. For people in America, they won't care. But this is for for the ones that care. Well, welcome joining us on the channel. But yes, the Warriors, if Air New Zealand did a thing with them, we can just promote Air New Zealand a bit more, get them more in the limelight a bit more, and people will start going more on Air New Zealand again. Like they already are, but if we can keep pushing it up, Air New Zealand, we need more people going on Air New Zealand consistently, and they got to keep moving up, getting more and more people out on their flights at a decent profit and continue to make those profits go forward consistently. That's what Air New Zealand wants to do. If they want, like any company, if they want to be good, they need to start going consistently up and continue to grow. If they want to really go to $3, $5, they're going to have to really show they can grow consistently over time. And that's what they have failed to do of late in New Zealand. Obviously, clearly there were some issues around there. But finally, to get a dividend back, It's very exciting news for shareholders out there. But to me, Air New Zealand has to do a lot more around profitability. They got back to profitability, but they need to mainstream it and make sure that they continue to get profitability. Because there is the big question with all this going up. Everything's smooth sailing, that's all the talk. Boom! Yes, recession. That is the worrying part about this thing. If a recession comes, that dividend is not coming back. It'll just be that one-off. You won't see it again for a while. That is the real worry at the moment. Everything's rosy. Everything's getting back to normal. But if you look in America, you look at the stocks like Foot Locker, you got Nike going downwards. We're starting to see it coming like Walgreens starting to go down. We see more and more retail start to continue to collapse. Then boom, a recession's coming. No guarantee it's going to happen, but there is a chance it can happen. And if it happens, it will affect Air New Zealand because they won't be flying. Yes, once they start pulling in their money, reining in their money, their business class thing disappears. Oh, we're all going to go flying over. So that's the danger of recession. So that's the thing you got to be careful of. If you haven't invested before in Air New Zealand, you're thinking this is a good chance to buy. At the moment, I would say it's a good buy. But if we have a recession, you'll get it at better prices, clearly. Over the long term, I think you should be fine. But again, it's dependent on dividend. This stock has always been pretty much a dividend stock. The last 4 years has been on halt. But if it continues to pay a dividend over and over and over again, more and more people will slowly get up and you'll get a more leeway that way. And that's what Air New Zealand has been for a long time. But to me, like any business, we need to see consistent profitability year after year and improve. Not just profitability, growth. That's what Air New Zealand need to look at. Do they look to go to further destinations? They get more people going on flights. There's a lot of things. They obviously get their profitability. How do they get more profitability? Do they have to have a bit less staff? This is all stuff you got to look at to try and make the profitability go up. They need to expand. They need to do everything they need to do to streamline their business to get more and more profits for you as a shareholder. That is the aim of any business. In Air New Zealand, obviously, looking to get more planes going as well, which is a positive. It's got to make sure it's all profitable at the end of the day. There's no point buying 10 more planes and only one of them gets full. You know what I mean? You're buying the planes because the demand's there. The demand needs to continue to be there and it needs to continue to grow. That's what Air New Zealand needs to work on. And maybe starting a business with the Warriors, for instance, the All Blacks. These are the couple of the big ones that they should be looking at to try and get more and get them and get involved with them. And Air New Zealand on the logo, that is what you get more people coming on your planes instead of them going for all the other planes out there like the Jetsstars, the cheaper versions. If you can really promote New Zealand, then Air New Zealand and Australia, of course, they're in Australia as well. Big chance to really push up the stock price. But then, in long short, the dividend is a good thing, but dividend needs to stay for the stock to continue to rise. We need to see net profit go up. We need to see more revenue and consistent more revenue. They need to look at cut cost measures to continue this profitability. All those little things they need to do, but they want to continue to grow the business is the aim for you as a shareholder. More important than the dividend. Dividend's important, don't get me wrong. It's very good. But at the end of the day, the company needs to be profitable because if they're losing money, your dividend's going to disappear again. They need to consistently make more and more money so then they can keep putting that dividend up year after year after year. That's what we're wanting as Air New Zealand shareholders. And maybe as well as getting free, more discount. I think that's something that Air New Zealand needs to work on. They should give more discounts to us shareholders, especially if you've got quite a lot of money in this company. If you have a decent amount of shares, you should be able to get some benefits, whether it's a free upgrade or like 25% off your tickets or something very, not just a little token, just a decent amount off your tickets each time you buy. I tell you what, you'll see more and more people come into the stock. Instead of getting virtually nothing for the last 4 years, now we're finally getting something with a dividend for the shareholders out there. But anyway, thank you for joining me here at Barry Charles. Just a little bit on Air New Zealand and where the future lies. Air New Zealand has to find more profitability and find ways to make sure they keep growing the business. It's very important, but the dividend is the start, but they need to see a bit more. Anyway, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll return with another video shortly.